Good evening, creatives. This is attorney Angela Green with PFM TV. Tonight, I want to talk to you about negotiating contracts. The music industry is made up of contract law, so you're going to be entering into and getting out of contracts throughout your whole career. And being able to negotiate those contracts effectively is going to determine how successful you are in the industry. So just want to talk about three things that I think you need to consider before you start negotiating your contracts. Now, I will admit that how proficient or how good you get at negotiating contracts is going to take practice. Over time, as you do it, you're going to get better and better at it. But these are three things that you can think about now to kind of help you set that foundation of how you do negotiations moving forward. Now, I will preface this to say that there are some people who negotiate based on the win-win philosophy. And that is, these are individuals who are looking specifically for that win-win opportunity between both parties, and that's how they negotiate. So it's more of a collaboration than a negotiation. But you have to remember that 9 times out of 10, not everyone is using that philosophy for negotiations. Most times they are seeking to negotiate their best position, and therefore you need to do the same. So these are the three areas that I think you need to think about and basically have made a decision about before you start negotiating your contract. Now, the first thing that you need to remember is that whoever wants or needs the deal the most has the least leverage. And when I say leverage, this is the person who has the most negotiating power in the negotiation process. So if I want or need the deal the most, or if I bring, you can determine who that individual is based on who brings the deal to the table, then the person on the other side may say, okay, this person has already determined that this is a situation that benefits them. And this is a situation that they want. That's the reason why they're bringing the deal to the table for negotiations. So you have to, you have to keep that in mind and remember that whoever wants or needs the deal the most usually has the least leverage. Okay. Now, many times people tell you, don't be the first one to make the first offer. And most times that's true, because whoever makes the first offer pretty much sets the bar for the negotiations up or down. So I totally understand that. However, just remember that if you are the one who has brought the deal to the table, many times you may have to make the first offer in order to get the conversation moving. So you have to keep that in mind. The second thing that I think you definitely need to think about is whether or not, what position are you? Are you the one who wants or needs the deal the most? You need to know where you fall on either side of that question, because that's going to make a determination as to how you negotiate the contract or how you negotiate the arrangement with the other person. So again, first, whoever wants or needs the deal the most has the least leverage. And based on that, you need to determine, is that person you? Are you the one who wants or needs the deal the most, or are you not the one who needs the deal the most? Okay, so then the third thing that you need to consider is where is your breaking point? Okay, at what point in the negotiation process are you willing to walk away? And you should make that determination before you get started, because that's going to help you gauge whether or not the negotiations are going favorably or whether the negotiations are definitely heading to the point of no return. And so those are the three areas that I think you need to consider, or at least have decided for yourself before you start negotiating. Again, first one, know that whoever makes or whoever wants or needs the deal the most has the least leverage. 2, figure out if that's you. Are you the one? Which side of that question you fall on? And then third, Where is your breaking point? Where is it where, where's the point or the line where you're willing to walk away from the deal? So it was really interesting this morning. Was looking at my cell phone and an article popped up about Taylor Swift, who was very upset, I guess, this past Sunday about the fact that her old record label, Big Machine Records, was recently sold to Scooter Braun and his investment company. And if you don't know, Scooter Braun is the manager of Justin Bieber and I think Ariana Grande. And so for various reasons, she has, personal issues and things with this gentleman, but her old record label, Big Machine Records, sold their company, which includes the masters to her last six albums, and also her multi-platinum, which includes all of her multi-platinum albums. And so in this talk or this write-up, she talked about her negotiations with Big Machine Records because, of course, a power move for her would have been to have claimed ownership of those masters. If she could have gotten her masters, her work, that would definitely been in the best interest of her career moving forward. And so she talked about the fact that she had herself attempted to secure those masters. And so I kind of wanted to talk to you, or at least read to you that section to kind of bring up some things. So if you hold on one second, I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to go strictly to that area there, this section right here. It reads, "For years, I asked, pleaded for a chance to own my work," Swift wrote on Sunday. "Instead, I was given an opportunity to sign back up to Big Machine Records and earn one album back at a time, one for every new one I turned in. I walked away because I knew once I signed that contract, Scott Borchetta would sell the label, thereby selling me and my future." Okay. That one paragraph tells you a lot. And it actually sums up those 3 points that I just mentioned. Let's go back. Look at that first point. "For years, I asked, pleaded for a chance to own my work." Right there, Taylor Swift was the one who wanted and needed the deal the most, because she was the one who brought the deal to the table. She says right there, she asked and pleaded for an opportunity to own her work. Now, the one thing that it looks like is that with that, she did not make the first offer, because it said, next sentence, "Instead, I was given an opportunity to sign back up to Big Machine Records and earn one album back at a time, one for every new one I turned in." Now, I'll take that back. I won't assume that she didn't make an offer. She may have made an initial offer and then they countered back with this. But obviously, she had already determined her breaking point, because she said, "I walked away because I knew once I signed that contract, Scott Borchetta would sell the label, thereby selling me and my future." So she had already predetermined where her breaking point was going to be. And so I thought this really summed up what I am trying to convey to you all, that it's important that you think about those 3 things before you start negotiating. And as you move forward in the negotiation process, allowing those 3 to kind of guide you will help you get to the deal that will be in your best interest at the end of the day. So I hope this information helps you. If it does, I just ask that you click the link or share the video and just let people know what we're doing at PFM TV. That's Position for Millions TV. And for those of you who may need help in music business consulting, you can reach out to me at www.positionmenow.com. Until next time, ask that you just continue to stay positioned for millions.